want all the tea, you know? I want all the tea.
You just want to stir the pot. You're like,
stir the pot.
burn the
I
bridge,
want the
say
tea.
something.
People
Okay.
say, does it make you feel better? I feel great. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I got that off my chest.
Because on average, like you're stewing throughout the day, just like,
Just hypotheticals
who
in
can
my
I
head.
fight today? And I'm like, please don't be me. Please don't
Oh,
be me.
stop. I never fight you. And welcome back to Give It To Me Straight.
I'm Alex.
And I am John, and we
we're
are
your
gracious
hosts.
Oof,
We're rusty. This is going to be rough. It's been a minute. How you doing?
How you doing?
Did you miss me? No, because I've seen you for all the time
day,
that
every day.
we've been gone. How's everybody else been?
You're going to ask them a question like they're going to answer?
Yeah, because I'm curious.
You know,
have you been?
For not doing this for a year, you think, well, you're probably more prepared. Like nothing has changed for me. I'm like going right into the next, start this again for the fourth fucking time and thinking the same.
Well, number one, we didn't anticipate on taking a break, but life happened.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. And then we continued to take that break for a year. So we figured it's been a year too long.
It's been great though.
It's been great.
It's been awesome. A little bored, but it's, podcast is a lot,
We had two very different experiences then between that break. If you think that your break was awesome.
I didn't say awesome. I said it was kind of.
It was awesome.
Did I say that?
Roll the tape. It was awesome.
I was
Roll the
awesome
tape.
not having to record, is what I'm saying. Like, we had a little more work-life balance. It was nice. That part of it. Not everything has to be storm clouds and rain. Look at this come from me.
Coming from you.
Be a little positive.
I'm not saying. Moving on.
Be a little positive.
What have you been up to,
Hold
John?
on. Bringing this mic out again. Have you ever seen the movie The Patriot? Tell me you've seen the movie The Patriot.
I don't know. Like 100 years ago when it came out.
Awesome, badass movie.
Is it? Because probably not.
What's his name? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. He's from Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson. So in the movie, and I'm making a point, in the movie, he put his weapons away. He's never fighting again. The British kill his son, and he's like, you know what? I'm bringing, he's like, that's it. I've had enough. And he takes his box from underneath his bed or where the fuck it was, opens up the box. He's got all of his weapons in there. And that's what I feel like with this podcast, Mike.
That you're dusting off your weapon.
Dusting off my weapon, and I'm ready to seize the fucking day.
That's great. What's your motivation for dusting off your dusty weapon?
What?
You're like, what do you want to talk about?
What? You're spearheading this. You got the questions. What do I want to talk about? It's been so long. I don't know. So many things have happened. You tell us. What do we do? What do we do?
I don't know. Well, you don't want to talk about the storm cloud, so
I'll start because apparently we need to talk about
No.
depressing. No, this is real. Let's talk about the depressing part in our life first. I really didn't want to talk about it. I want to keep it light, but like to make us feel better and to get it out, and it's good to clear the air, I guess. We stopped the podcast. We went through something very traumatic, and rightfully so. We needed time. We needed time to process it and get joy back in our life.
Yeah, I think when we ended last season, we had a lot of unknowns on the journey ahead of us. Like we just weren't sure what we were in for. And then as you guys saw or know, we ended up losing our son, Leo. And it was the darkest time of our life. I don't think that you could compare anything that we can personally compare anything that we've gone through to that experience. It was life-altering, heart-wrenching, just changed us as humans, as a couple. It brought us closer together, but we did have to take that time away. And I think this year off was great because we learned so much and we were able to experience so much again as a couple together that brought us together closer. But it was a transformative period of time in our lives that I would never want anyone else to experience. But, you know, again, as we stated earlier, that's just life. Like, you don't get to choose the hand that you're dealt. Nobody is immune to tragedy happening to them at any time. And that's just how things happen. But I think we'll talk about like how our experience was with grief and how we kind of leaned on each other in future episodes. But we don't want to make this entire episode just focused on the loss and what that time was like for us. We really want to focus on the updates of like the positive things that we experienced throughout.
Well, now I want to
that
talk
time.
about it since you just brought it up.
Okay, well, what do you want to say? You could.
I
The
don't know.
floor
I
is
just
yours.
like we definitely cope with it differently. You and I, you know, I even like right now, I'm such a person that like wants to like move on. I'm not saying that's right and like compartmentalize like things. And like I say like I am okay. Like I say that and then I just feel like every time we talk about it, it's like re-tearing a wound. I'm like, is that good or is that bad? I don't know. And I know you are doing therapy and like whatever that thing you're doing. And it's like
EMDR, shout out.
the
Very
more
helpful.
the more you tear, the easier you're going to be able to cope with it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, EMDR is a type of therapy where you reprocess your trauma. And it's not for everyone, but it was something that I had to do personally or that I had heard of from like friends who have done it, and my personal therapist recommended it, where you reprocess these memories so that not that you forget them, you absolutely don't, but it just doesn't feel as painful. And it's so that you can function essentially and get through life without holding so much weight on your shoulders about this traumatic event that happened. And what we went through really was trauma. And I think that you are on your own journey of healing. You know, therapy was not something that you wanted to do. You're very open in talking to me about things that you've experienced or your feelings. And I don't know, I don't want to be like men and women are different, because that's not a generalization, but I'm a talker and I'm like, I need to get my emotions out, and having a non-biased source, my therapist, was healing for me. And then again, making our content, writing Shower. So if you guys don't know, we created a short film called Shower, which is, you know, loosely based off of our experience as well, what we went through. You could find that on our YouTube channel. But I think for you, that was a sense of healing. But I don't know. I don't know if it will take you a little bit longer, or what are your reservations
I'm also
about
not going to
therapy?
pretend like I dealt with the same exact thing you dealt with. I did not carry him, you know?
But you experienced trauma in a different way.
Sure. I experienced in a way where it's like, let's just be fully transparent about it. Cause I'm not going to like pretend obviously I didn't have the connection with Leo like you did because you were carrying him. My connection was to you, and seeing you and what you had to deal with was brutal for me. And I feel like now that you're in a better place makes me in a better place, you know? So that's where I'm like, where I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I almost feel more guilty that like, I don't feel that I wasn't as affected as much as you were by it.
I think that's normal, though. I think in situations of stillbirth where you didn't actually have a relationship with him like I did, again, I think that even happens when women have living children. Men don't necessarily connect with babies until they're there, or even until they're a few months old. So I wouldn't carry guilt around. I think that you just process it differently. Like I would say, even after, you know, when we had taken a break from the podcast and we finally were like getting out and about, and like I was able to come up for air again, that's when you really started to take the time to grieve. But again, like we don't have to talk about this. I know that you're not like, we don't have to, this isn't the episode that we wanted.
I don't know, I was like, you just opened. I was like, well, now I could talk about it, I guess.
We ended our last season on a question mark, not sure where our family was growing or what path we were really going down. And so I think it would just be odd to come back and just not address the elephant in the room. But yeah, we're gonna talk.
Yeah, let's
more
kick off this season with depression.
depression.
But I like what you're saying. Like, let's talk more about this down the road.
I think, well, it's
yeah.
also woven into the fabric of who we are now. So I think as we answer questions, as we talk about growing our family, it's just a part of our story. And so I don't think it's something to just shove under the rug or be embarrassed or be like,
Right.
we can't discuss. It's just like, now it's our story and it's who we are. And it's
Great. Am I tearing up?
yeah.
It's the lights.
No,
The
it
lights are in
is.
my
I
eyeball.
love you. But it was tough. And so I think we're excited to be back. And on a more positive note, we are pregnant again.
Hey! I'm on a fucking emotional roller coaster right now.
I love it. And then you're like, therapy's not for me.
No, I'm happy. We're so lucky.
Yeah. But
You know?
pregnancy after loss is another.
Are you like trying not to?
I can't look at your
Why?
eyeballs and not tear
Dude,
up.
we have talked about this enough. We're like, oh well, we're on fucking camera now, and we're just falling apart.
You know why? Because there's
God.
no distractions when we're here.
We're like, we got to focus on each other.
I'm staring
Focus
at
on
you
what
in
we're
the
saying.
eyes. Pregnancy after loss is another challenge in itself. And so another topic in which we will discuss
Let's
more
say
in
it.
depth.
Alex is pregnant.
Yeah.
Yay!
Woo. Did we say what the gender is? Did
Are
we
we?
reveal? Yeah.
We're having a little girl.
A little squirrely girly. Yeah. Which is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, you're going
I'm
to be
pumped.
a girl
Yeah.
dad now. But I think this time around, it's just been so different. I'm in the third trimester now, and I can't say that this has been fun for me or easy, especially, oh my God, John, don't look at me. Now I'm going to cry. Especially after experiencing loss. It's been really tough. But
I mean, even us like saying right here, like, we're pregnant.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was forced. We're just like, I just want to get to the finish line. It's like,
I don't think once you've experienced a loss or a late term loss or, that you really can take a breath of fresh air or really just breathe a sigh of relief
Right.
until the end. And so I think us powering through it scared is all that we can do. But I've gotten to the place too where I don't want to look back and regret not being excited, because there's the part of me that is excited to be pregnant, to be growing our family, to hold on to the hope that like she might actually arrive. But then there's the other part of me that,
Yeah.
is like, maybe not. There's still the chance isn't zero, or like, the risk of something happening isn't zero. So it's a whole back and forth, but we've been navigating this for the past 7.5, 8 months. And so, or however, 6.5, 7 months, it's been a journey. It really has. But we're trying our best. We're doing what we
well,
can.
I mean, you're at a point in your pregnancy now where we're further along
than we've
ever
were.
been, so.
Yeah. And
we had, and I try to like tell Alex to, every time we say something good, Alex follows it up with a negative, and I am like, we got to be more positive.
well, I know this might come as a shock to you guys, but throughout this process in pregnancy, John has actually been the optimistic and the positive one, and I've been the negative Nancy. So yeah, you've been
One of us has to.
so positive in helping me look at the bright side and not walking around with such a dark cloud over my head, because I think it is so easy to just taint every experience, every milestone, and just wait for the shoe to drop. Which
I'm putting my, like, I still in healthcare, right? Like I still have my whatever, but I'd be a terrible therapist now. I have like a healthcare blinders on right now. I'm going exactly off of what the doctors are saying. No news is good news. It's boring. Everything is good. And that's what you want during a pregnancy. Everything we've heard is she's so healthy, no problems. And like, that's what I'm focusing on. And that's kind of what I keep trying to reiterate to you. Like,
Yeah.
just go with the facts right now.
And I think based off of our last experience, like although it was a high risk pregnancy early on, no matter what, it's all out of your control. Whether it's a healthy pregnancy until the end and you don't know how your delivery is going to go. Again, for me, my biggest fear is having a healthy pregnancy and having a stillbirth, because that's being part of a lot of loss groups. That's still what happens to a lot of women carrying babies. And or children who are born and then get sick. Like, you can worry about everything. And so it's tough because it feels like you're getting back into the driver's seat of a horrible car crash that you just experienced, and you now have all this PTSD and trauma, but you just have to work through it and know that not everyone gets struck by lightning twice. It's rare that happens. And it's rare to get struck by lightning once. So you just cross your fingers and hope for the best. And again, at the end of the day,
We're fine. Everything's going to work out.
when she's here, we'll still be nervous about things. So topics that we will continue to discuss on this show moving forward. If John
I
can
guess
handle
one
it.
thing, and I don't want to, I'm not going to say the name of the person who's pregnant, but close to us. Like, I guess that's another issue that I probably need to work on too. Almost like not trying to sabotage their pregnancy, but they're early on, and it makes me nervous for them where they're so excited and they're talking about the future and everything. And I'm not trying to take that away, but I just want them to like, and they're close. Like, that's why I'm comfortable like saying something, but I want them to just be cautiously optimistic, I guess.
I think, though, on the other side, those are inside thoughts
I know.
because you can't project your fears onto other people's experiences. It's like, just because your husband cheated on you does not mean that my husband will cheat on me. Like, everybody's experience is so different, because I've caught myself in very similar situations when people are giving me updates on their pregnancy. And I think, too, that's the really tough thing is, after losing a child, my nephew and Leo were supposed to be 1 week apart. And so seeing him be born was another challenge. Hearing about close family members and friends getting pregnant after that, another challenge in itself. But kind of keeping your cards close and not projecting your fears onto them was something that I had to learn how to do, because it's not fair to them.
I know it's not fair.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't just say that to anyone, but I'm very close to this person and I want to protect them, I guess. And I know that's not right, and it's a delicate way of saying it, but I just don't want them to just, I don't know. I just don't want them to get hurt. That's all.
Well, what I've learned from my therapist, which is why we made the decision to announce, because the story that I was telling myself was, if we announce that we're pregnant and expecting and I lose her, it will hurt so much more having put out this excitement. And my therapist was like, but will it hurt more? Or will you just be hurting alone? Like, you just have this fear. And so
That's a really good point.
I don't think it would make it hurt any less, just because you get excited and you envision this future.
And while you're pregnant, I think it does help, because now, instead of trying to like hide this and like hide your happiness, now anxious, whatever, but like we're still so excited. Like, now we can be comfortable like talking about it, being out in public. You're not trying to like hide your stomach. And I just think it would be better for your mental health.
I didn't want to announce for a long time, and not everybody has to announce. And that's like, a lot of what we'll focus on today is just pregnancy announcements across the board, because I think that we have such a different perspective on people announcing their pregnancies after experiencing loss. But I just didn't want to talk about it. I just felt like getting pregnant after loss was something that I wanted to keep close between you and I, because I was fucking terrified. I was like, something might go wrong and I don't want to tell anyone. I didn't even want people to ask me how I was feeling, what my thoughts were on it, give their opinions on if they thought it was too soon or not soon enough. We got clearance like 2 weeks after losing Leo, and they were like, try again. And I'm like, I am unwell.
Right.
Absolutely not. But then it's all consuming, and that's all that you fucking think about. And so for us, it was just a constant conversation. But getting pregnant again, I just was caught off guard in a way that I didn't anticipate how I was going to feel. And so we just had it was truly taking it day by day. And so we still are. We're still taking it day by day. But
I think also we should just acknowledge like the amount of support and the outreach that we got from family, friends, fans, so much. And then, like you talked about shower, when this happened to us, there was nothing out there. There was no real support that I found or saw. I mean, I didn't look like really hard, but I don't know. It just, when people reached out to us, it meant a lot. I mean, shit, the people that are so close to you that never bring this stuff up. My parents, friends, and neighbors, and came up to them. And they're like, I never knew. And, you know,
It's just
it's like
experiences.
almost taboo. They don't talk about it.
Yeah, like people coming out of the woodworks, and I will say it still wasn't people, like there was no one in our immediate community that we knew who had experienced what we've experienced, again, because it's very rare to go through a late term loss. But hearing after we had shared the people who were friends of friends or sisters of friends who would come to join this community or welcome us into their community. The Lost community is the club that you don't want to be a part of, but it is the most warm and welcoming and understanding community that there is, because you don't get it unless you get it, you know? But it was crazy, I think, after releasing Shower. Like, we shot it, had it through the film festival circuit, and we just released it, like the weekend of Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And seeing the impact that it had and hearing the stories from so many other people, I'm like, holy shit, like this is it so far reaching, but I hate that so many people can relate to it, you know?
Well, I don't know. That's why we did it, right? To bring awareness and to help people. And
yeah. Well, again, I think that we will continue this conversation, and I do want to do an episode on how to show up for people who are grieving. You know, I think before losing Leo, I don't know that I necessarily would have said the right things to someone who had experienced what I went through. And now being on the other side of it, we could tell you what to say, what not to say, and just how to show up as a good friend, a good loved one while someone is experiencing a dark time in their life. And
I almost feel like we have two different opinions on that.
really?
Yeah.
About like how to show up for someone who's grieving?
Or bringing it up or talking about it. Yeah.
What do you think that we have differing opinions on?
When people come, do you want to talk about it? You know, because for me, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. So like, even people coming up quick, like something quick.
Well, no. So I think that there's different tiers. There's like your close immediate circle, then there's acquaintances, and then for us, it's a different layer because we have strangers. So my expectations of these tiers are different. But for a person who's not a public figure, they're most likely dealing with your close immediate circle and then your acquaintances, like work people or just like friends or neighbors that you run into. But again, I think that you don't want to talk about it from necessarily a stranger, but if your parents never brought it up to you,
I'd be pissed.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think,
but like, I don't need to talk about it again, or you know.
Right, but I'm talking about like immediately after ways of showing up for someone. But we can disagree in the next episode about what our opinions are on showing up for grief.
Okay.
So yeah, we ended up having a pretty busy year. Lost our son, had to heal from that, so we traveled a lot. Some of the best advice that we got was, if you're going to be sad with a view. So we just spent the entire year traveling. I think we were
that was
gone
the most
all
traveling
time.
I think we've ever done.
Yeah, and I have no regrets. It was exhausting, but it was some of the most like memorable
But it wasn't
moments.
even like we were going on vacation. It was like one vacation, but we like went for work. We just got lucky with like work ops to go places, and it could have been better timing.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I think that we put it out there that we were like, we want to get out. And
Yeah.
so we manifested a lot of like work opportunities, thankfully. And we were really blessed to be able to get out of the country and even travel in state.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did, what were some of the big ones? Dubai.
We just went to a bunch of different places. I can't even like remember. We did so much in a year. I honestly don't remember. I don't know. You went through your phone and
I know. I was like, damn. I felt like we were traveling almost like every week. The first one was the DR, which was just, we did nothing except hang out with each other, drink some beers, and cry. And then Kat was such a great friend to us. Like, we would go to Florida, visit her. She would keep us laughing, like have a packed itinerary. She would come here. We went to LA a few times. We're spending time with our team and our friends over there. We ended up doing Dubai. Italy, you were a gladiator in Italy.
yeah, I got fucking sick in Italy.
That was fun.
Yeah, let's talk about Gladiator. That was sick, even though it was definitely frowned upon. I was the one who put it together. It was fucking awesome.
The company that we partnered with got got, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Well, we'll tell what we did, but just don't come at us because we weren't the ones who.
No. That's what I'm saying. They got permission from the government.
They got permission
Italy
from
to do this.
Not Italy, Rome's government.
Whatever. Does Rome have its own government? You know what?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like their own little mayor. I don't fucking know. I'm assuming so. So I got to pretend to be a gladiator in the Roman Colosseum, and probably the coolest experience.
Okay, so it was beautiful. I was like, Europe just does
This
it
was
right.
to promote Gladiator 2, by the way. It wasn't just randomly I was going there.
Dressing as a gladiator.
Yeah.
But like we get there, we're like, let's get some like wine. We'll go. Everybody gives you snacks where you go. You just get a drink and they're like, here's some snacks. We need to start adopting that in the US. I want to go just grab a glass of wine
or the coffee
in a few months.
They give you the
and
cookies.
get some crispy crunchies, some little nuts, olives, a mini coochie board. Thank you.
I will say, going to our homeland, Alex, Italy, where the fuck's the protein?
That's true.
Where's the protein?
All the carbs. Yeah.
I can't eat pasta for.
But they're not bodybuilders out. Not everybody is a bodybuilder out there. It's more like I'm lean. I'm a walking machine. They're just like getting their steps in, so they don't need to be lifting.
Rome was cool though. It was a cool place.
Okay, but wait. So we go to do this gladiator experience, and it was to promote the movie. So John was going to dress up in like full gladiator gear, training as a gladiator at midnight. So they like shut down to all the tourists. That's like the best time to go is, when no one is there at midnight. So they shut it down and you have this experience. They have it set up with like these tents, like,
tents, lights, the food that you would have at like a festival,
like a spread of like a feast, whatever. So they're handing John and all of these guys their gladiator outfits.
Just so you know, everyone, we didn't know what we were walking into at all. I was like, oh, we're probably gonna just like wear something and like take some photos. That's as much as we knew.
Right. And so I had written out a script where I was going to be like a spectator watching my husband be this gladiator because we're script-based comedy. So I was like, okay, cool. We get down there and they're like, and ladies, here are your outfits as well. It is just like straight bra top thong. I'm like, I did not prepare my pubes for this. Like, unless you want an authentic gladiator experience right now for a viewing party, I have to decline. And they were like, are you sure? I'm like, positive.
I was like, do it.
No.
I was actually like, don't fucking ruin this for me.
I mean, it was cool. I wouldn't have been able to get the shots of you.
Thank God. Thank God because we needed that.
Yeah. So
I go in there. As soon as I saw the gladiator helmet, the fucking Spartan helmet, I'm in the zone. I am locked in. I'm like, this is for me.
You were Gladiator John.
I put the helmet on. Yeah. Alex is getting cool shots of me. I thought it was like the coolest fucking person on the planet. Got my shield, whatever. And they made me take it off because they said that wasn't mine. Got my little thong thing on. Now we're out in the fucking pit. We're in the pit. They have 4 trained gladiators. They only speak Italian. Dudes are jacked. We're circling around them. They start fighting. They are hitting each other in the face. The weapons are like metal, tridents, swords.
The thing is, I think everyone thought it was going to be a choreographed experience.
Yeah.
No, they're going straight, giving 100% effort into beating the shit out of each other.
Me and the other guys look at each other like, what the fuck? What did we walk into?
Yeah.
Then they're like, the gladiator guy's like, all right, pair up. Okay. So like me and this guy, and we're kind of playing around. He's like, no, swing hard. I'm like, okay.
They were literally like, you're being a pussy.
Yeah.
Try harder.
Yeah. And so then we did some moves and they're like, you were nominated. I got nominated to go in the pit in front of everyone and like do this choreographed. Well, we choreographed it.
Didn't everybody do that? I think everyone went.
But we were you were chosen to go first.
Right. You're the chosen one.
I was the chosen one. And we fought, and it was cool. And I died, and
you did lose.
I did lose,
but that was a crazy experience. I mean, to actually also be in the Colosseum where so much history has happened. So I understand why.
I'm sure it looked like I insulted him. Yeah,
offense.
Look at me.
But
so sorry, but yeah, it was fucking
hindsight,
awesome.
like I'm like, man, was that an out of touch thing? But again, when you get permission from the government and the locals themselves are part of it, you kind of just assume that it's
I also
okay.
wasn't like, oh, you better take me. Like, you picked me to go. I didn't ask to go.
Right.
Anyway, so Rome was sick
And-
and I got sick
Yeah.
violently. So we besides all the trips we went on, we also did
during the holidays. I was like, we're fast forwarding.
We're
a
only
few
on
months.
Christmas now.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I'm like, well, we fast forwarded a few months. Kobe, he didn't have his bowel obstruction yet. But Ashley and Raina, another podcast you guys should tune into, Girls
So
Gotta
funny.
Eat. They're the best. They used to be in New York. They're in LA now. But they invited us to join their holiday show where John attempted the worm.
I was very embarrassed. And then I ended up doing a push-up because I couldn't do it. Honestly, probably one of the Rome, one of the coolest things I ever did. Going on Girls Gotta Eat and embarrassing the fuck out of myself, probably one of my lowest moments in my
John,
life.
it was just highs and lows all
Then
year,
I started doing
up and down.
finger guns to
you
the
did.
crowd. I am straight panic
I was
mode.
like, I'm walking off of stage.
Push-ups into finger guns. Oh, so uncomfortable.
You were preparing to be a dad. You're like, oh, I was going to be a dad, and now I'm practicing again.
By giving finger guns?
That's like a dad move, isn't it?
I don't
Or
know.
just like a loser move.
So anyways, that show happened. We did that. Cool experience.
And then the holidays were tough.
Yep.
Well, again, we had our 5th anniversary, which was around the time that Leo would have been born. But I think that we celebrated life with each other. We did the best that we could. But yeah, so we're skipping around here. But yeah, the holidays, I would say, were the hardest part. So we were also like, let's get out, let's travel. We left to Switzerland, which was beautiful. But that was probably the saddest that I ever was. And I don't think, I'm like generally a happy person. Like I would still say I processed our loss fairly well, given the circumstances. But that was the first time where I was like, I need antidepressants. Like I am not okay.
Yeah.
And I think after the holidays, you were traveling a bit and I was going to be home alone, and you had like reached out to my friends to come stay with me, which I didn't know that you did. I was just like, oh my God, Kawinky Dink, like you're in town.
Yeah. I was on Code Red. I was doing the wellness checks.
Yeah. It was tough. I think anybody who has experienced loss, whether it's a family member, an older adult, a grandparent, parent, sibling, whatever, the holidays are just really hard. That's the time that everybody gets together. It's supposed to be joyful. And I think when you think about life of like what you shoulda, woulda, coulda had.
Well, everyone has 1-year-old babies at this point. I'm like, oh my God, fucking kill me.
So we like politely declined lots of events. And I think that's something that we'll discuss as well. Like when you're dealing with grief, like you're in survival mode, do what you have to do. Do not feel obligated to go anywhere or say yes to anything that you just like do not feel comfortable going to. So we decided to travel, and then when we came back, I was like, I need to talk to my primary care. And that's when I found out that I was pregnant. I was like, got some blood work done, and they were like, you are expecting child. And I was like, wow.
Powerful seed.
Okay, well, I also peed on a
seed.
test that morning and like freaked my friend out who had stayed over. I was like, there's no way. It was the faintest line. She goes, I think we just need to go to sleep. So she left in the morning, and then I just waited for you to come home. That
was cute.
Anxiety attack. But yeah.
I took the ferry home when I was in Boston.
So I peed on this stick, not very light at all. It was like the faintest line ever. So I'm like, I am not prepared for this. I am not ready. Go to sleep. I didn't. My friend went to sleep, and I'm awake for like the next 4 hours. And I'm like, am I? No, there's no way. But I've never seen a false positive, but that wasn't dark enough to be a false positive. So she leaves at like 5 a.m. to catch her train. I pee on a digital stick, and it is pregnant. And I'm like, oh, here we go. I start spiraling. That's when I get a call from my primary care doctor who was like, your blood work came back. And I'm like, I know. I already peed on a stick. And so I was like, I don't know how I'm going to tell John. The last time I told him, it was exciting. This time when I saw a positive pregnancy test, I wasn't excited. I saw it and I was like, great. hopefully this one lives.
Jesus.
I mean, that's the truth.
And since then, that's what Alex has been saying after every single positive statement made.
Whatever. Let me
Even
live.
from our OB, she's like, oh, she's looking great. And Alex like, hopefully she lives.
She keeps looking great. Fingers crossed. And so I'm not feeling the best about it. And so this isn't something, you know, as stereotypical influencers that I would be like, let me film this moment. I was like, absolutely not. Like, this is just something that I want to keep private between John and I, because I really don't know how this is going to end. Like, and again, early on, it's just so up in the air. But I still, God forbid it was going to work out, didn't want to not make it a special moment for us.
Well, so that weekend I was with Jason. I was with my buddy Jason. I was in Boston, and I was getting the ferry home from Connecticut to
Yeah,
Long Island.
you were at a football game, right?
Yeah, and it was snowing.
So it takes 100 years when you're waiting to tell your partner that you're pregnant. And so I stopped at the store and I'm like, what can I get that like isn't just the positive test? And you call your dad Papa Bear. So I saw this mug that said Papa Bear on it, and I was like, this is perfect.
I'm cheesing right now.
Jeez. And so I picked that up and I'm like, well, this is all I have. Whatever, it's fine. And so it took you 1,000,000 years. By the time I got to the ferry, I was like, where are you? 100 years. So I get out of the car. I have the mug. And when we had gone to Switzerland, I took one of those like film developed cameras because I was like, I just want to take one photo in each place. Like, I don't want to take a bajillion on my phone. So I was like, I'll take a picture of John before and after. So I'm holding this mug. I have the test in my pocket, and John loves coffee. Like, he needs coffee every 10 minutes. So he's walking. I take a picture on the film camera before I told him. He's just like walking in the snow with his luggage. And then I go, oh, hi, how are you? Missed you, whatever. And I go, I brought you some coffee. And did you know when I handed it
For
to you?
some reason, I immediately knew.
You like read the mug and you were like, Papa Bear.
No, I was pumped. Right. For some reason, I knew. I don't know. There's something in the air. The snowflakes dropping. Let me set the scene. I'm on the ferry. It's foggy. You know what? That's actually why it took so long. The ferry stopped in the middle of the fucking inlet because they couldn't see where they were going. Anyways, light snowflakes, crisp breeze. And I get off the boat. I'm pretty sure.
And you say you're not creative.
I'm pretty sure I'm the last one. And I'm walking, see my car, see my lady come around the corner. She's got this mug, which by the way was empty. There wasn't anything in it.
I know. I didn't bring
That's why I knew. I was like,
me.
oh, something's up. Not okay. Now that I know, yeah, that's why I was like, why is it,
Mr. Detective John,
why is this
over
fucking
here.
mug? There's no coffee in it.
Yeah.
It was very cute, and you know, we had a moment.
Yeah,
we had a nice moment.
It was a nice, special, private moment, and then I took another picture with her film camera. Yay! That's it. And then I was scared for the rest of the time.
That's actually and with the photo she took. She told how we told my parents.
Oh yeah. Well, because I had brought that camera to Switzerland where they traveled with us, I was like, oh, how cute will it be to like add this to like all the photos. They go through the photos and they thought that it was an old set of photos, like the pregnancy photos from Leo.
They're sifting through the photos.
Past it. They're like, and I'm like, oh my God. Like,
we didn't plan that out well enough.
But they're like, I'm gonna go, what was that? Go back to that. And they're like, oh, nothing. Because they just didn't want to like re-trigger us. But I was like, no, those are new. These are all new photos.
I feel like everyone we told the second go around, everyone cautiously optimistic. Not like the first time, which I understand, but not everyone was like, oh my God, we're so happy for you.
I don't think we told them with the excitement that it was the first time either. It's different.
Right.
It's just different. But yeah. So speaking of pregnancy announcements, we figured we would answer some Give It To Me Straight questions about pregnancy announcements that people had.
And if you're new here, I never know what Alex is reading.
Yes. And if you have any questions, they are all anonymous. You could write in at hello@giveittomestraightpodcast.com. I know.
Wow,
I'm like,
you
what
remember?
is it? But then we also have a link on our website, which you can find in our show notes. But yeah, since we didn't want to give anything away, which a lot of people were like, this bitch is pregnant. Some people probably didn't know. But anyway, so we didn't want to give any hints. So I didn't put a question link up. So some of these questions are from Reddit, just so you know. But yeah, let's dive in. Are you ready, John? I feel like
Oh my God.
you got to put on your listening hat.
I'm having deja vu.
Ready?
Okay.
I'm about to be 6 weeks pregnant. I haven't told my family yet, only my husband, best friend, and a pregnant acquaintance that I know. I want to tell my family, but they are terrible at keeping secrets and act like they can't help it. I would really like to be the only one who tells my whole extended family at the end of the first trimester, but if I tell my immediate family before that, then they might just do it for me. Not sure what to do. It's the first grandchild on both sides. I don't love keeping it a secret, and I really want their support right now, but I feel like I can't trust them with that info.
Wow, here's a thought. Tell your extended family first.
She doesn't want to. She wants to tell them when.
If she doesn't want to tell her parents because her parents are going to ruin it.
So just you're saying wait to tell everyone?
No, same day. Just go tell the extended family first if you're worried that your parents are going to say something like immediately, and then go straight to your parents' house and tell them. And no one's going to actually know who knew first. Like do like a quick. You know what I'm saying? Like do it in the same day.
So you're telling her to wait until she's further along, though, because she's saying she wants to wait until after the first trimester to tell her extended family, but she would like the support from her immediate family. Here we go with the recaps. If you're new here, too, I always have to recap the question for John because he gets a little bit lost.
Just tell your parents, whatever. I mean, again, I think your parents would be pissed if you don't tell them first. What do you think?
I like to get your opinion first after I explain the question 3 times.
Well, because to me, it's not really that big of a deal. But to her, it's a big deal.
Going through it the second time, I'm very much like, don't just wait until the fucking first scan. But at the same time, it's like I get wanting the support of your family. Like for us, we leaned heavily on each other because we had already gone through loss. But our first pregnancy, I think we told everyone week 5, week 6, immediate family.
Right.
No one like outside of that. I was telling strangers, like the mailman, he knew. My nail girl, she knew. But
this is our first kid.
Yeah. Oh. So she's excited. I think I would tell your immediate family. And then again, it's just you, after that, you keep the cards close. And if they breach that line of trust, that's a conversation to be had with them after that.
What do we always say? Just cut them out.
Cut everyone off. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them all. Next question. Are pregnancy announcements and photos on Instagram and Facebook cringe now? I haven't announced on social media yet, and I find the thought of posing with the ultrasound picture or something like that kind of forced and awkward. Is that just me? What have other people done to announce?
Don't let other people steal your thunder. If like this is your first time, and the same thing like your first time being pregnant, you're excited. If you are excited, I mean, if you're thinking it's cringe, then don't do it. No one's got a gun to your head. But I mean, when I was excited. I wanted to share.
Yeah. I think the fear of looking cringe holds people back from living their true lives, like from being their true selves. Who the fuck cares? Someone will always think that you're cringe. Everything that we do, someone says we're cringe. Hence why we made the short film Cringe.
It's on YouTube under Alex John if you want to see it.
We are also pitching it as a pilot to be brought up as a series if anyone is interested. But yeah, I just think that like you have to do what feels best for you unapologetically.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cringe.
I get that that's easier said than done though for people because you and I do cringy shit all the time. So
Right.
like I don't care anymore. But like something like that for someone who's private might be a stress factor.
Mm-hmm.
But
and again,
are you going to regret it? Right? If you don't, would you regret it?
Yeah. And again, you don't necessarily have to take pictures with the ultrasound. You could do something else, a cake, a onesie, booties, a hat. Like I've seen people do really cute ones where they have a mom and a dad hat. They turn it over.
I thought she's talking about her wedding.
What?
What was her announcement? I thought she was talking about No, read the first sentence.
Our pregnancy announcements and pregnancy announcement photos on Instagram and Facebook cringe now. Are you well?
And what? I don't know. And weddings. I thought she said weddings.
Supposed to have pregnancy brain, and you just
I'm
adopt all my symptoms. Oh, you're old.
Getting debilitated, and I'm just gonna put me in a home soon.
I know. Poor John.
I don't like looking back. I mean, look at my hair now.
I know.
Look how gray it is.
I'm so gray too. This is the gray, John. This is the grayest I've ever been. I've had to color my roots.
4 strands.
I wish 400 strands. It's insane.
You're so dramatic.
What stress will do to you. And I can't get Botox. Look at these wrinkles. Moving on. So yeah, I just think that there's other things that you could do. What?
Yeah, no, I don't see them.
Okay.
I'm giving you a compliment. You look nice.
Thanks, John.
Oh my God.
All right, this is a good one. You're going to like this one. Am I the asshole for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed at mine? My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no, that it was a day about myself and my wife, and we did not want any distractions. My mom lost her shit. She said that he wanted family he might not see again for a while to be a part of the proposal. I said I did not give a shit, and that if he did it, I would have him kicked out. He did it, and my mom said if I tried kicking him out, she would leave too. I just remember seething on the inside. My brother got married last weekend. Instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used that time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. My mom was so upset with me, but my grandmother told her to sit down and shut up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We spent most of the reception talking to the family we would not have seen for a while about our upcoming baby, or about our coming baby. My mom says I was an asshole for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day. She got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed.
What did her mom say to that? What was the mom's rebuttal?
What about?
Like, well, if you recall, you said you were going to leave my wedding. I wonder what the mom said to that.
I don't know. There wasn't an update. It was just people being like, grandma's a G.
Tit for tat, baby.
Yeah.
Everyone that's like, take the higher road, shut up.
No. Especially in a situation like that where your brother was like, hey, I'm thinking of proposing at your wedding, and you specifically told him no. You have every other opportunity to propose before the wedding, and then you could talk about your engagement.
Do you find it strange? This might be a hot topic. Do you find it strange people, like how he said, I want other people to be part of my proposal? I find that, sure, I'll die on this hill. I find that your proposal should be intimate between you and your partner.
I think to each their own, but I don't think that you hijack someone else's day to make it about yourself at all. Like, I think some people might want other people around. Like, they might want their friends, family, everyone around, but you don't do
it for
it
someone else's day. Yeah.
off of the dollar of someone else. You know how expensive it is? If you want to bring everyone into town to celebrate your own fucking proposal, you can pay for a venue.
I agree.
You could pay for them to all come into town and give them open bar, meals, and music. Absolutely not. And again, you asked, he said no. He fucking did it anyway. So I think this is the perfect petty response.
Don't you
And
find
I agree.
him doing that is like, not what's the word I'm looking for? Not like a vanity thing. Like I don't know. That's why I would like, when I think of proposals, of it being intimate between you and your partner, the person you're going to spend your life with, I don't need anyone else around.
Right.
You are officially going to be my one and only my family member, my immediate family. I don't care about anyone else. And to make that about something more than that, I find strange.
I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of everyone because some people might want their
Well,
whole
speak for them.
community
Like,
around.
if you were going to counter me in this.
Right. I'm thinking of like if, you know, the girl getting engaged or, you know, the guy getting engaged wanted his family there, you would plan like a trip or have a dinner scheduled after, or like all get together at the beach, like where
like
the proposal was, you know, like everyone comes out afterwards,
Yeah, I like that.
or they're there and it's a surprise moment at a dinner. But like, you just don't hijack someone else's moment.
I'm moving on. I agree with that. I'm
Yeah.
moving on from that. I'm just a complete separate.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's people who want to get proposed to at Disneyland. You know what I mean? So like everybody has fucking different preferences.
What's your thoughts on
Don't ask.
gender reveals?
Oh,
Over
well,
the top. I saw one gender reveal. The guy had 4 fucking jets shoot by him, spraying like blue smoke. Badass, but
Again, to each their own. Would I do that? No. You and I opened up the fucking email and we said, it's a girl. Similarly with Leo.
I think I had like one eye open. I was like,
Yeah, I couldn't even see it. You're like, girl. And I'm like, where? Where does it say that? But for us, we didn't care. Even with Leo, it was the same thing. We just like opened up paperwork. But I wanted a cake anyway, so we still got a
true,
cake.
I guess to each his own, because we didn't care boy or girl
Yeah.
for either.
I don't know. I just think like I'm not gonna yuck someone's yum, but that's not a gender reveal. I think is just an excuse to have a party. But I love to have a party, but not.
I guess I would say the same
Like
thing
that.
about the gender reveal as you said about the proposal. Do the gender reveal, the two of you, your child. I mean, again, anyone would do anything, but I like more like the two of you and then have a party if you want.
If,
I don't know.
yeah. Again, to each.
I'm just sparking debate. You know, I just want to get a little. Trying to get back into the groove.
You're just trying to fight me.
Next question.
Next question. I'm 11 weeks pregnant and I just got a new ultrasound picture yesterday. I've told my family and close friends, but I haven't brought it to social media yet because my partner and I are not ready. We feel like it's too early. I told my mother that she could tell her close friends because she's so excited to be a grandma for the first time. Today, I opened Facebook to see her announcing it on her page 4 hours ago, and she already has over 50 comments on it. She did not ask me if it was okay to post, and I'm so upset. I feel like my moment to post my exciting news was stolen from me, and she doesn't see the problem because I told her she could tell her close friends. 400 Facebook friends are not all close friends. Do I have the right to be upset with her?
Yeah, but at this point in time, in the age of digital and easy access to people, if you're not prepared for it to be exposed, I don't know, like the disclaimer of like you could. I think you should have been more specific.
I mean,
you can tell your close friends.
I think the people who we've told with such ferocity that they know that we would cut them if they like. I think I spooked my mom into saying anything to anyone that she was like.
Well, you made it very clear. I guess for her, I'm like, you know your mother more than anyone else. Like, you know the type of person she is. Do you feel like how you said you could tell your close friends for the type of personality she is, that she has, that was enough?
So you're saying that if you're telling someone who's most likely probably a boomer, you need to say, you could tell your close friends, do not post on social media.
Not even boomer, but like,
anyone.
You know your mom.
I don't know. I still think she has a right to be upset with her mom.
I'm not saying she doesn't, but you might have been better off doing a little more due diligence. You know your mother. Is your mother a person who is a blabbermouth? I don't know why that's the term I found. But like, if that's the type of person she is, then you know that she's not going to be able to keep a secret.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, there's ways that you could look back and be like, yeah, did I need to communicate that? But close friends, I feel like that's pretty clear that doesn't mean Instagram or Facebook.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that you have every right to be upset with her.
Yeah, but I'm also just saying, you probably, maybe you know your mom. You know that she's a blabbermouth, so she would say something.
I don't know. I just like wouldn't assume that you're that dumb to just take that
Don't
upon
call
yourself.
Her mother dumb. How dare you?
Shallow, dense. I don't know. But I just think that from experiences like this, now you know. So it's either you can have this conversation with her, set that boundary, because like you're going to get other updates in your pregnancy. Again, hopefully all great. Congratulations. But it's like, how much do you share with your mom, knowing that it probably won't just stick with her. Or if you tell her close friends, all of her Facebook friends will know.
400. She's a G.
I know. Who has that many friends? Next question. I am not happy that my best friend is pregnant. She's always wanted to be a mother, but has never been in a long-term relationship, and now she's having a baby with a guy she just met 4 months ago. I want to be excited for her, but I don't trust this guy enough to know that he will stick around and be with her by her side when the baby comes. I'm so upset that she's just going to go through this. She's always been this way, kind of go with the flow, see where life takes me. So in some ways it makes sense for her, but this kind of life decision isn't like, let's do it and just see what happens. I wish she had thought this through more. I know this is what she always wanted, but it feels like she is taking the first opportunity she could get. How do I support her when I think that she's making a big mistake?
Sounds like me. Sounds like you just want to say something, but you just can't. It's not your life.
It's a canon event, you just gotta watch it happen. Because if you say something, are you jeopardizing your friendship? And I feel like I'm hypocritical in this way. Some situations I'm like, rip her to shreds, take her down. But like, this isn't impacting you. Are you her caregiver? Are you gonna be helping raise this child? No.
And if it goes to shit, you have a great opportunity to say, I told you so.
So you're saying say something. Because why else would she say, I told you so? I told you so.
Well, you could like, give a couple like subtle nudges about it. Be like, are you sure? You've only been dating for, just make sure this is.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could approach her like an adult and be like, are you sure? But again, people have to learn lessons on their own.
You know, is it gonna make you feel better saying something? Just fucking say it. You know, some people need a fucking somebody on their shoulder to be like, hey, you're making stupid choices.
I give it once. You know what? Depending on who it is, I've said things to friends several times.
Friends, family. I said stuff to everyone. I'm getting worse. I'm getting
know.
so much worse
I
as
know.
I'm older.
But that's why I'm trying to like
But
not
it
take
makes
my
you feel
advice.
good, though. It makes you feel good.
No, but it doesn't when they don't listen, and then like the same cycle happens, and then yeah, you're right. But does that make you feel better?
This is fucked up. Yes.
It makes
I feel better because I'm like, I know I'm fucking.
But then at what point are you like,
I'm such a good judge of character, and I'm like, listen, if you're close to me or you're in front of me, like, this is a terrible idea, and then it goes the way exactly I thought it was gonna go. I'd be like, I don't say like, I told you so. Even though I would want to.
No, you do.
But inside I go, I'm fucking psychic.
Are you psychic, or do you just have
what?
Are you just like more self-aware? You know, but when you're outside of it, it's so easy to see, like, hindsight's 2020. When you're in something like that, you have rose-colored glasses and you're like, but your friend, if it doesn't bother her, it shouldn't bother you. You know what I just learned recently too is that when we like started our business, I had friends who were like, oh no, I think that's too risky, but no one said anything. Because
your friends who did what? Did they have their own business? What fucking expertise were they gonna? What knowledge were they gonna give to it?
But that's my point. It's like,
and majority of them are divorced, so who gives a shit?
Who's divorced?
I don't know.
Just making up lies. Who's divorced? Your friends are divorced.
Yeah.
I don't have.
When I got married, I think like over 75% of my friends got divorced and were remarried.
You said that to me when we started dating.
Because that's what my dad told me.
Yeah, you were like, all my friends are married now, but you watch. They're all going to start to get divorced. Because you were like, they got married years ago. And then they did, one by one. Whatever.
One person gets married, the fucking pressure train comes on and everyone's like, oh, I got to get married now too. I don't know why people love to like just fall in line with something.
Well, I think I don't know what it is like now. And again, not a generalization of everybody who gets married young, but it's very much a Southern thing. Like in the South, you're like, oh, out of college, let's get married.
I'm just talking from experience. Like all my friends, like it was almost like a panic mode. They went into like, I got to find someone now. I'm like, why?
But okay, so going back to giving someone your unsolicited opinion, do you feel like it strengthens your relationship? Like, are you like,
no,
oh,
of course it doesn't.
Right. I just think
I'm in a weird mood right now where I'm just
I
like
know.
burn the ship.
It's just been highs and lows.
But that's the other thing. Like, do I want to be friends with someone who makes stupid choices? It bothers me. If you're dumb, I have a hard time wanting to hang out with you anyways.
And that's true too. Like, I hate people who are not self-aware, but sometimes you just have to learn the lesson on your own. You just have to walk through
Are they
the wrong
normally like a solid friend, solid person, and then like something happens? Sure. But like,
she said this is her best friend.
okay, well, how do you know that she doesn't have her own issues? You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about someone in general that's like, you both are like solid people. Then that one solid person has a hiccup. Like, that's a different story. But someone like that, 4 months seems quick. I don't know.
I just think you got to let her live, you know? If it doesn't bother her, it shouldn't bother you. Does it impact your life? Again, if you were financially responsible for this baby that was coming into her life, yeah, like you can obviously give your opinion.
I want all the tea, you know? I want all the tea.
You just want to stir the pot. You're like,
stir the pot.
burn the
I
bridge,
want the
say
tea.
something.
Yeah. People say, does it make you feel better? I feel great.
I don't think you do.
I do. I feel great.
It's like
I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I got that off my chest.
because on average, like you're stewing throughout the day, just like,
just hypotheticals
who
in
can
my
I
head.
fight today? And I'm like, please don't be me. Please don't
Oh,
be me.
stop. I never fight you.
Your sister.
I hate how much I
weekend-
love you. It's
Your
disgusting.
sister visiting this weekend. We're on a walk, and she goes, you are the only person that John likes. And I'm like, I know.
I'll fight her.
No, she was giving me a compliment.
Yeah, she's also talking shit. I'll drop
Well,
her.
about you, yeah. But she was like, my brother doesn't like anybody. Like, you are truly the only person that he loves and likes and will hang out with. You are his best friend in the whole
I
wide
see
world.
Jen like 3 times a year, and she's like, I fucking know him. Like, I haven't changed at all since we lived together.
Who's your best friend?
Who's my best friend? Obviously, Kobe.
Kobe.
Why? Wow. I don't know why I said wow. He's alive, if everyone's
Oh
wondering.
my God, we didn't even give that update on Kobe. Let's move on from questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Give the update on Kobe.
Yeah, so
Also, first off, I love my sister. I'll still fight her though, out of love.
I love her too so much. I'm so lucky to have good in-laws.
All right, that's enough. So Kobe. Yeah. Why don't you talk about Kobe and all the
Oh, well,
all
this is
the
actually a
effort
funny
you
story.
put in?
So, okay, John, like you act like this is my fault. Like I shoved tampons down his throat. So one day, Kobe starts vomiting all over our house. And I'm like, well, this isn't fucking normal because normally if he's going to like get a stomach bug, he'll throw up one place. We clean it up, whatever.
That's what he does.
That was a good
It's a good what? Reenactment?
reenactment. I couldn't think of the word.
Anyways,
So anyway, Kobe throws up in like 6 different areas in like an hour span.
Black.
And I'm like,
Black
this
vomit.
is not normal. And so he's chugging water, throwing that up. He starts shaking. And so our friends are coming into town. And I'm like, okay, John, you pick them up from the airport. I'm going to stay home with Kobe, like try to get him hydrated, call the vet. Well, I call my friend first, who is a vet. And every time I go to call her and ask her a question, I'm like, you know, if I'm calling Dana, I should probably just bring Kobe to the vet. And so I call her, I tell her Kobe's symptoms. She's like, absolutely, you need to bring him to the vet. And so John gets back. Kobe is shaking and he goes,
of course, just like every time something happens with Kobe, it's just conveniently a time when Alex is doing something else. Because our friends were over, so you're like, I'll stay with them. I chose to take Kobe, but I had to take him to the vet. You got to hang out.
I wasn't hanging out. I was like, these are my friends that I'm hosting. So I was cooking for them, making sure that they,
Oh, they're your friends now.
well, they started as my friends and now they're your friends too.
What are you talking about? You didn't meet him before I did.
Yeah, but you only know him because of Abby. Like she's my best friend and then started dating. So that's what you got.
Basically, we're all just friends from Tinder.
Yes.
Tinder's okay.
Abby and I were roommates. We both swiped on our husbands at the same night. We were living together and we were both like, oh my God, we're going on dates with Italian Johns. There they were. She was on one of the first episodes of our podcast. If you go way back.
First one or second one.
Gosh.
All right.
Continue.
Anyways, bring Kobe to the vet. He has a bowel obstruction. And they're like, we have to open him up like immediately. And yeah, our sweet baby boy had to get tampons. It was like 3 tampons and a squeaky toy, the squeaker out of him. Close him up. Anyways, long story short.
No, but also going back, the vet was like, yeah, there's these tampons in there. And I'm like, nobody knows I'm pregnant, but I'm like 8 weeks pregnant. These are not my fucking tampons. Like, where the fuck did he get these? Realized that he ate them at my parents' house. Someone had left tampons. My mom had already gone through menopause. Someone left them. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But it's fine. Whatever. Kobe's a dog. He's eaten them in the past. He's passed them before. He's passed everything before. He used to eat my socks. He used to eat balloons. String.
Whatever. Anyway, so he's better. He's getting better.
Yeah.
And then second week post-op, starts vomiting again. I'm like, holy shit. Maybe they didn't get everything out. Go back in. They said they don't really see anything. I must have went to the emergency vet like 6 different times.
Well, because he wasn't progressing. He kept throwing up, or he would like have a little bit to eat and then throw up again. And then you brought him, they didn't see anything. You brought him back again because he was like convulsing. And they were like, well, it looks like there was a hair, like a bunch
They're
of
like,
hair.
give it one more day, see if he passes it. And I took him on a walk with my dad and he shit out a squeaker toy.
Another squeaker toy. But we had thrown out everything. So my friend who's a vet said that sometimes they could eat multiple things and it will dislodge from their stomach and eventually get lodged somewhere else or whatever. Like they don't always get everything out. So she was like, he probably ate it the first time. And that's very common that happens. But not just that, he heals from that, whatever. He's great. He's fine. He's alive. And mind you, he's going to be 11 this year. He's too old to be doing this shit. He tore his ACL. So partial tear.
I don't know. They said they think it's a partial tear.
He's
jumping up on the couch. Jumps up on the couch between us and his leg goes between the cushions and he like hyperextends his leg. I'm like, are you fucking kidding?
But that was months ago at this point. We're still giving him his joint shots to try
like
to...
once a week into once a month. He's killing me.
I know.
we
He's been
don't
our
have-
most expensive
well,
investment this
I
year.
wish you got dog insurance for him when you were younger.
I know, but he was a discount dog. He was $90.
Was he? And then he tore his whatever.
Tibial crest avulsion. He broke his kneecap.
It's a puppy.
He's very expensive.
You know what, though? Now going off of this, let's go into Rex because now I have a different recommendation.
Oh, you have a different
Yeah,
recommendation?
but share what we're doing.
So we're going to end our episodes with weekly recommendations of things that, whether it's a piece of advice, a book, a movie, a recipe, because John started his cooking journey too. So that was one thing that we did after losing Leo, was starting a cooking journey, which I love because I get to try all of your fun recipes. But you've gotten so brave in the kitchen.
I know. I mean, I only knew how to cook from you. You show me what to do. So yeah, every Wednesday, John's cooking journey. I'm cooking something new. Majority of the time I fuck it up, but sometimes it comes out okay. But yeah, that's my new thing.
My recommendation
Yeah,
first?
because I'm trying to look up the name of this.
My recommendation is a book, and it's called The Housemaid. I think it's by Frida McFadden. It is such a good, quick read thriller, and I'm pretty sure they're turning it into a movie. Sydney Sweeney's in it. Amanda Seyfried. It's gonna be good. I fucking love it.
I honestly
Anyway,
can't talk to you
I
about
don't
it
read.
'cause
I know. So
unless it's like news about war or something, I don't read at all. I should read.
I know.
I'm slowly slipping away.
We can start to popcorn read again. It's
Goodbye,
good for your brain.
my lover. Goodbye, my
You know
friend.
what you should do, because I haven't done
Those
read
jellyfish
a
pills.
single baby book. What are we gonna do?
I think we wing it. Wing it.
We should probably take a class, right?
I know CPR.
Do you?
Baby's choking. Boom. On its side, on your arm. Bop, 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 bop. On the back. Or we should get that life vac and he just sucks everything out of their mouth.
We should get anything. We haven't purchased a single thing, and
I know that's how bad we are. We're just like
third trimester. I'm like, I don't own.
we gotta get our shit together. We have nothing.
I'm still not ready to buy
Just
anything.
gotta go to the bathroom. I'll lay a blanket down on the ground.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
cleaner.
They don't need much, and I think because PTSD last time we had to clean out an entire nursery of shit.
Yeah, it's the last thing I want to do.
So
that was so fucking terrible.
So I'm like, I don't want to do that again. I'll just wait until she's here to buy anything.
Let's keep going on a high note. My rec is going off of Kobe. Rough and Tough toys, dog toys.
Yeah.
I think they're on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Our cousin Chris told us about him because his dog tears up
Side note: Kobe barely has
toys
teeth
all the time. No, he has teeth. He just doesn't have his front one.
Barely, and they're not like he's got bad teeth. I'm like, how is he attacking raccoons? How whatever is out there, and he's
John,
ripping
don't say
apart.
that about him. He only is missing 2 teeth.
I should show that toy, but anyways, I can't reach for it. I'm too lazy. So Rough and Tough toys, he hasn't ripped through it at all. If you got a dog that's like ripping everything up you give him that.
Okay, but I don't know. Luke did rip through it. My parents' German Shepherd.
Oh,
he did.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, we almost got a Rough and Tough sponsor until Alex just said that.
I know. Well, it's worked on Kobe so far.
Yeah, he hasn't ripped through it.
It just depends. Like German
If you
Shepherd,
have a geriatric dog, get a Rough and Tough toy.
Kobe does go through everything, but like a German Shepherd, like they'll go through your fucking skull. So
Give them a cement block to play with.
Yeah, I don't know that Luke wouldn't go through anything. So those are our recs, and this is our show. So we hope you enjoyed. Welcome
We don't
back.
do icks anymore, but it's so funny because I never know I didn't know how this new like template of our show is gonna be. I have like 30 icks.
Oh my gosh. Well, we also are planning to have some special guests on this season, you guys. So if you have any recommendations of people who you want to listen to on our show, let us know. Let us know. Let us know.
They're going to be like, Sydney Sweeney, like, yeah, we can't get her.
Maybe if you buy her soap.
Oh. That like sold out. Anyways,
I think that's it. How do we do the ending? I don't even
plug
remember.
us. You got to plug us.
If you want to follow us, you can follow us at Give It To Me Straight Podcast on Instagram, on YouTube. What else? You could email us at hello@giveittomestraightpodcast.com. And
is there anything else?
you can follow
our pages,
me.
our own pages. You don't have to do ours.
No, you'll just like look in the show notes.
You'll
It's
find it.
there.
You'll find it.
I
And
think that's
we're making
it.
our comeback, guys. Let's get this season going.
Let's get this show on the road.
And until next week,
Ciao,
ciao.
ciao.